The stealing of the sword is, in some ways, an attempt to see, in his delirious, fevered state, whether he can do anything with this sword with his left hand, and in other ways, especially once he realizes, which has to be in the first few seconds of holding it, that he can't do anything.
He's such a prideful human. He just doesn't want to exist as a lesser version of Jaime Lannister.
Fighting these guys, it would have been like fighting a group of school kids to him, and now they can beat him down. He becomes like a child to them. They're not so unthreatened by him that they don't bother to really hurt him, because there's no point.
Do that again, and I'll take your other hand.
Fighting is his life. He's the very best in the world at what he does, and now the skill that made him who he was is gone. Whether they were a good person, a bad person, or something in between, you're seeing somebody who is a human being being denigrated, just toyed with in a way that's going to make anybody, including Brienne, feel pity for that person.
You need to live.
One taste of the real world, where people have important things taken from them, and you whine and cry and quit. You sound like a bloody woman.
It really takes Brienne to remind him that there's a reason to keep going. And I think a lot of it is because, you know, he sees in her example, like she's going through a pretty tough time herself. He's almost shamed into regaining his courage by the example that Brienne is setting.
I shall have your head!
The killing of Mormont definitely could not have come at a worse time.
They know that the Night's Watch is in decline. I don't think they realize how far they've fallen, how fast.
Their numbers are not nearly enough. They've lost lots and lots of people in the north, and the one thing holding them together, the glue that inspired them and the wisdom that guided them, was Commander Mormont.
It's not just that Mormont died, it's that he was murdered, stabbed in the back by his own men, you know, and it's been a long time since there's been this kind of dissent in the Night's Watch, and especially with someone as beloved and respected as Lord Commander Mormont, and they found a father figure in Mormont that most of them had never really had before.
We shall never see his like again.
And now his watch is ended.
And now his watch is ended.
Dovageris! Naijon mevatas! Geletis! Zaldrizes busdaris gosdaor. Valeria munioengos nuihis isa. Dracaris.
We've never really gotten a sense of her capacity for cruelty. She's surrounded by people who are terrible people, but haven't done anything to her personally. And it's interesting to me that as the sphere of her empathy widens, the sphere of her cruelty widens as well.
I think she becomes harder to dismiss. You know, for a long time, people have been saying, even if she was alive, you know, really the only threat she poses is her name. She's a Targaryen, great, but she's a little girl at the edge of the world, so she's starting to knock on people's doors a little bit.
All at once, she becomes a major force to be reckoned with. She spent a lot of time feudally kind of banging her fists on the doors and declaring that she was owed the Iron Throne by right, but now she's stepped into her own as a conqueror.
Dany is becoming more and more viable as a threat, both, you know, in attaining an army and because she's the mother of these 3 dragons who are only going to get more and more fearsome.